Hello.
Hey,
Hey, how you doing?
good. How are you?
Doing fine. Hope you are.
Yes, ma'am. Always,
Good, good,
always.
good, good.
Right. So I'm gonna kind of shove that out of the way. So
Okay.
essentially, I have a couple who will be in person today, and then obviously I've got you guys online. So for anyone online, what we're going to do is we're going to roll through kwbresources.com. You guys will hear me reiterate that in just a moment here. But essentially, what will happen because you guys are online, I always say just shout out your questions if you've got any, throughout this process. I understand, obviously, sometimes it's hard to remember your questions by the end. So if at any point there's anything you've got a question about, feel free to go ahead, unmute yourself, and then ask the question overhead because I'll be able to hear you in these overhead speakers and I'll be able to pause and then answer that question for you. All right. I'm going to get perfect. I am going to minimize this little box here so I won't be able to see you guys. So please do shout out if you've got any questions. So I'm just going to minimize that way. I'm not blocking any of the content as we go through here, but I will obviously be able to hear you if you've got any questions. And I'm going to go ahead and just go shut some doors real quick and I'll be right back ready to start. Okay, sorry guys, my chair is a little broken, so I'm sitting much lower than normal. All right, so I hope you can see me. I'm sorry if you can't. Let me just make sure that you can, if I could see myself. But okay, so I'm just gonna guess that you guys can kind of see me. I'll angle it up a little bit more.
Yeah, we can see you.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. I was like, I have no idea at this point. I don't normally sit this low. So for those of you online, I have kind of already intro just to say we are going to dive into KWB resources today. That's going to be our office resources page with a lot of information. So I just want to make sure that you guys have an understanding of where to find some of that information as you need it. That's the big thing. And then the additional piece to that is that if you are online, especially, I know it's hard to remember your questions by the end of the hour. So at any point, if you've got a question, I can hear you in our overhead speakers. So feel free to just shout out any questions you've got. And then same goes to in person. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. So we are going ahead and we're going to go ahead and dive in today. We are at kwbresources.com, just to reiterate. And when you do arrive at kwbresources.com, this will be the homepage that you'll see. So what I will say as a full disclosure, there are going to be multiple ways to pull to the same information on this website. So when we are going through, I will try to show you the most convenient ways as we're going through this together. And if you see me kind of bypass something, that's only because I'm going to try to show you the fastest way. So when we arrive at the homepage, the first button we're going to click on today is the new agent button. And the reason for that is because I feel that obviously this is going to have a lot of information for you guys when you first get started. If you were to click on the left-hand button here that says learn more, this is actually going to essentially walk you through the onboarding process, which most of us are actually completely through. So yay, congratulations. This will just kind of highlight some of the information we ask of you, also gives you an idea of who will be reaching out to you and at what point in time. The real reason that I like to touch base on this, especially for those of us who have completed the onboarding, is to talk about the things you can begin doing immediately. The first of which is to check out kwbresources.com. So we'll do that together today. I will trip over my tongue many times. The next is obviously to take a look at the office training calendar, which we'll do as well. Joining Ignite, which I know several of you are already a part of, so thank you. It's a great foundational training, and we always joke that it's everything you thought you were going to learn in real estate school and then found out that it was more legal stuff than anything. So we're happy to kind of show you the ropes and give you an idea of how to host that open house and also how to be staying on top of your contacts and constantly lead generating. We're also going to discuss a couple key Facebook pages that I highly encourage you to be part of. We attend office meetings, the first of which is orientation. So thank you guys. I appreciate your presence today. And then the last thing here is registering your car with Torrington Preferred Parking. So really, we do have some visitor spots that are designated outside. The idea behind the visitor spots, though, is it's intended to be just a 2-hour spot for you guys. So for those of us who are attending Ignite or here regularly, I would encourage you to go ahead and register your vehicle. It's as simple as following this link here, and it will pull you right to the page. When you do arrive at this page, you'll see here our building is building 2, just based off of the kind of unique shape that it has. And then as you scroll through, it'll ask you basically to create a very quick login. You'll be able to designate that you're in building 2 and also say that you're with Keller Williams at that point in time. This particular opportunity will allow you to register up to 3 separate vehicles. So if we've got a roommate, a partner, a spouse, friend, anybody whose vehicle you may end up using, if yours is in the shop for any reason, this is a great opportunity to plug in all of that information under one pass. And this is free for you guys to do. So I would encourage going ahead and doing that at some point in the near future. The big thing to note is that when that pass is created and it arrives at our office, it will be it will be physically delivered to us. And we actually will set that pass in your mail folder. The reason I go down this little tangent is because we realized not long ago that a lot of us did not know we had mail folders, which is part of why I'm going to talk about it now. So as part of your onboarding process, guys, you are assigned a mail folder. So Miss Sue at the front desk will create a folder for you, and she'll organize it in alphabetized filing cabinets. So it's actually going to be the room just to her right of the lobby area. So when you guys do have any mail that you ever send to the office, especially maybe South Carolina licenses, those usually arrive at the firm. So if you guys are planning to get South Carolina licensed, at the very least, that will probably be arriving to us, and you'll want to check your mail folder for it. The same goes for packages, guys. If you ever have a package that's mailed here conveniently rather than maybe your house, that will be also set aside for you in the mailroom. And typically when we receive the South Carolina pocket cards, the packages, anything like that, Sue's very good about emailing you guys just to let you know that it's arrived and you can be expecting it upon your next visit. Other mail, she'll just kind of go ahead and stow away for you. She doesn't necessarily email because she feels that obviously the packages and the licenses are the most important part. So I will go ahead and exit out of that tab. Again, that's going to be under the Learn More option here. But if you ever lose track of that, just send me an email because I can easily get you that information. The right-hand side here under basic training, if you were to select the Learn More option, this will actually take you over to Scott Leroy Marketing's website. So for those of you who do not know, Scott Leroy Marketing is our third-party marketing consultant. They're the ones who actually do create all of your KW technology setup and mail it back to you within 24 to 48 hours of getting onboarded. So Scott Leroy Marketing's assistance and their kind of bandwidth extends well beyond just setting up the initial technology. So if you guys are kind of troubleshooting technology or looking for some additional support in that area, Scott Leroy is a great resource. They're very familiar with KW and they work with hundreds of market centers across the country. So one of the first things, and only because we arrive at this point on the page, if you actually search QR code right here or just even QR, it will actually populate a little form you can fill out. So if you guys are ever looking to create a QR code for a flyer, for a business card, and you're not quite sure how to do that, they have an option to do that free through them. Very simple process. It asks you like 3 questions and then they'll email it back to you usually within the hour. So very, very easy to get those generated. And then a couple other things that I will touch on. Again, I try not to do a full dive into these sites because there's so much time we could spend on them. But a couple things I'd like to highlight. The first is actually under this agent resources. And the reason that it's going to look a little different than it used to, when you click on it, it's going to ask you for that market center number. And our market center number, for those of you who don't know, is 350. You'll see that number repeated a lot in the things that you'll encounter as part of onboarding and getting acclimated. So once you hit login, you'll notice that now the Agent Resources tab will have a drop-down opportunity. So what you can do here is you can now go to training and then over to training calendar. If I could There we go. So once you're on training calendar, guys, this is an opportunity for you to get a lot of that technology training and education. While we do offer several opportunities in person in this office, we understand that sometimes Tuesday afternoons, when ours tend to consecutively run, may not be the best fit for everyone's schedule. So if you would like to supplement your tech education with any of these opportunities, Scott Leroy Marketing will run live trainings through Zoom from 1 to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. So you'll see that obviously they are taking off for Thanksgiving, but typically they will have a full month's calendar. And you guys can then see all the topic overviews they'll be covering. So if you guys are interested in DocuSign, they will cover that several times throughout the month. We're looking just for the basics of command. That's offered on Mondays, every single Monday. So there's a lot of different ways that you guys can go from just the fundamentals to then amplifying with some additional depth and training, where they'll go over smart plans, they'll go over Facebook ads, things like that. And Jules and Leah, our in-house tech coordinators, will cover the same content. But if you guys obviously, again, have a conflict on Tuesday afternoons, or maybe you realize Jules and Leah aren't going to talk about DocuSign until 2 weeks from today, and I really, really want to make sure I'm understanding it because I've got somebody coming up under contract. I really want to know how to submit that offer. This is a great way to get that kind of training a little bit more on demand. The next thing here is under store, and that's the big one here. As part of your onboarding process, unfortunately, you will not receive business cards. That is up to you guys to then order. But one thing that we can offer you guys is our partnership through Scott Leroy Marketing. You'll have access to the agent store. So the agent store is great. Again, very familiar with Keller Williams. There's several pre-done templates on here. It's very easy, guys. You can click on the business card option. You can plug in that you're with Keller Williams Valentine, and it will go ahead and show all these different templates that you can order from. So if maybe creativity is not your favorite, or I just want to be able to get that business card real quick, this is a great opportunity. Although you are obviously welcome to then go Vistaprint or Canva if you are more creative and you want something unique to you. The big thing to note is I always suggest before you print anything, before you pay to print anything, make sure that you're checking with our broker in charge or our broker associate or BIC associate that everything is in compliance on that business card. I would absolutely hate for anyone to spend money on something that they can't use legally. So please make sure that you are reaching out to them. I'll share their contact information with you momentarily, especially if your provisional broker status, that is a requirement to get their approval on your design. So please make sure that you are paying attention and getting that taken care of. The big thing also to note about Agent Store, for those of you interested, is that they offer a very competitive price point. So I was able to get 500 business cards just for myself, and that was only $39. So it's very reasonable to go through Agent Store if that is the route you'd like to take, or at least explore at some point. They also offer name tags and things of that nature, so please check it out. And we'll come back over here to the KWB Resources website. As we mentioned before, we're going to talk about two specific Facebook pages, and they're these top two pages mainly because they are far more active than the others. The first one here is our internal Facebook page. So several of you will have already seen this link come through. I send it to you in one of the first emails I will share with you. And this internal Facebook page is actually just our agents and our leadership team. So it's a great way for you guys to communicate with the other agents. As you can tell, especially those of us in person, there are not 500 people in this building right now. So our 500 agent body is not always in the office. So if you're looking to reach people, that's kind of the beauty of social media. It's very easy to get connected with everyone. And I'm also on there every single day talking about the upcoming trainings and events we've got coming up, making it very simple for you guys to register for anything of interest. So please do join that Facebook page. It's a great way to stay in touch on all things Valentine. The next thing down here is going to be our Strategic Alliance Partners Facebook page, and that's actually our vendor Facebook page. So again, it's another private group, and you guys are welcome to join. It's our agents, it's our leadership team, and it's our preferred vendor partners. So something that not every Keller Williams office has, but KW Valentine does, is going to be a vendor program. Our vendors here are vetted by other KWB agents, so you know it's someone that offers a great product or service that you can trust. So please do join the Facebook page for the vendor partners. It's a great way for you guys to get plugged in and get to communicate with our vendors. They're almost all on there. And the really great thing, again, just considering social media, is there's the search feature through Facebook. So you guys could easily just search electrician and any of our electricians will populate there. So it's an easy way for you guys to get that rule of three for your 3 quotes to present your clients. So I would recommend joining both of those Facebook pages. I'm an admin on both. So as soon as I see that request come through, I can go ahead and accept and allow you guys access. The next thing here is colorisms. I will not click on that one today, but it's a similar PDF handout that will open up in a separate tab. That colorisms handout will actually go over all of the language that you hear at Keller Williams. So one of the beautiful things about our culture here at Keller Williams is it's very unique and very special. As part of that culture, sometimes you'll hear some terminology that may not be used outside of these walls, like cappers and things like that. I know some things are going to be a little unfamiliar to us at first, and that's okay. So in the event that you're coming across something and you're not quite sure what it means and you want to fully understand, you can easily reference the colorisms handout here. You're also always welcome to ask me questions. However, if it's 3 in the morning and you're like, okay, I just need a quick and easy answer, that is the way to go, guys. That's a very useful handout. Just a little bit lower down on the page here, we do have access to answers.kw.com. This is a great resource for troubleshooting technology and learning how to use it at a better level. So whether, again, it's the basic functions of command or we're really trying to utilize the smart plan feature or anything similar, answers.kw.com will be able to troubleshoot with you. It's very simple. You can even specify the platform for KW because it does span across all KW platforms. It's not just command, but you can specify what platform you're looking at and then search kind of your keywords related to your topic or your question. And then actual articles will pop up with ways that you can read through everything to troubleshoot. There's also screenshots that will be embedded into these articles as well. So it's very easy to follow along and get an understanding of your tech. The big thing is there is also a sister website to answers.kw.com and there is a sister website. It's ideas.kw.com. I lost my train of thought for a second. Ideas.kw.com is actually intended for feedback about the platforms you'll be using at KW. So if you guys do have any suggestions, if you worked with technology before and you're like, hey, I love this feature, I just think if you allowed that button to be present on this other screen as well, it would really simplify and streamline. They want to hear those suggestions. They want to make sure that command is very user-friendly and highly efficient. So feel free to provide that feedback. Even if you're a brand new agent and this is your first time working with command, they want to make sure that it is as user-friendly as possible. So make sure that you are providing as much feedback as you'd like to give. They will happily be updating command throughout your time here, and you may even see some of those updates come to fruition. So feel free to provide those suggestions. There is an opportunity here to download Ignite materials, although I know many of us already have them. You can also find Ignite materials on each individual Ignite session on the office calendar, so that's very easy to download those. You'll notice here we do have access to that training calendar. However, this is a lot of scrolling and a lot of digging, so I will show you a faster way to get there in just a couple minutes here. At the very bottom of the page, there is an easier way, and for scheduling conference rooms, that's actually right here under the helpful links. But if you are through the new agent page, when you do go to book a conference room, it's very simple. It's through a third-party website called skeda.com. You'll be able to register, create a quick account. I always suggest using the KW email just because it's one less thing you have to remember. Then develop a quick and easy password. But it's super easy to book conference rooms. A spreadsheet will open up and you'll see on the y-axis that it will explain the time slots available, and on the x-axis across the top, you'll be able to see the actual conference rooms names as well as the capacity that each of the conference rooms hold. So if you're not familiar with a Lou Kester room and you're curious if it's going to be big enough to hold what you are planning to do, that'll be a great way to know that ahead of time without having to see the room. And the other great thing about this is the conference rooms, we do have 6 available on this floor. We encourage you to utilize them. Again, it's a free resource for you guys. The big thing to note with the conference rooms, however, is we prefer that you use them purely for consultations and collaborations. So if it's multiple agents meeting together, please feel free to use the conference rooms, whether that's a coaching conversation, a consultation of any kind. We would love to have you guys use those resources. But if you are looking for more of just an independent space where I can stay focused, we actually pass these doors here in the training room onto the back corner of the office. There'll be some, and you guys will see this when you're in the office, but there are cubicles that are marked as day desks, and those are actually vacant cubicles that you're welcome to use for a couple hours at a time just to stay diligent on your workload. So I know me personally, I will chat to no end. So if I get disrupted, I will not stop. So please feel free to utilize that if you're anything like me and you just want kind of a quieter space to stay focused. That's an opportunity. You're also welcome to hang out in the hub area here anytime that's not being utilized, as well as our tech lounge. We've got computers as well that you're welcome to be using. So that really, if you can believe it, was just under this one button. So we're going to go ahead and scroll down our homepage here. If you notice, we will be able to highlight the staff directory, if you will. It's our wonderful leadership team and the roles that everyone does have in the Market Center. You'll also see that their contact information is posted here in case you guys ever need to reach out to someone. This is a great way to get an understanding of who does what. And as you scroll a little bit lower, you'll come across, we do have a can't miss video of the week. And I always laugh when I see this because actually this has been here for months. And the reason is not because we're bad at our jobs, I promise. It's actually because this particular video has been so popular for our new agents because it really does a great job of highlighting the fundamentals of KW Command and DocuSign and how the two communicate together. So if you guys are trying to get that basic understanding, this is a great way to do that on your schedule as well. So maybe tonight or this weekend, if you're going home and you want to start kind of diving into everything, you could watch that video, get a great understanding, and then continue to work through everything. And Jules and Leah actually created the video together. It's a great one and it's less than 30 minutes long. So very easy to kind of watch through. And if you continue to scroll down our homepage, you will arrive at our office calendar. However, the easiest way to get to this information is to just click on that office calendar tab and it will automatically pull you down to this point on the page. So you don't have to scroll the whole way. But once you arrive at our office training calendar, you'll see that constantly we have different things happening in this market center, different events, trainings, and opportunities. And we encourage you guys to be part of as many as that interest you. The big thing is if you think you can benefit or your business can benefit from being part of it, we would love to have you. It's very, very rare that you'll ever come across any training that's directed to a particular audience so that, oh, sorry, if you're a brand new agent, it's not going to be the best for you. You are pretty much welcome to attend anything and everything. So please do check out the office training calendar. You'll see that there's some great stuff coming up. We even have like fun events. So we'll have a potluck next week, actually, guys, if you would like to be part of it, even if you're new, we want to have you. You're part of this family. So you'll be able to kind of click on the events and trainings, get a brief description. And if there is a registration link necessary for anything, you'll see it right there. We also have a fantastic mastermind with Jay White, who is one of our top producers, coming next Monday. And if you actually scroll through here, you'll see that there isn't a registration necessary, but there is an attached flyer. So you guys, again, just kind of play around on this office training calendar, get signed up for things, fill up your time while you're in the office. And if you realize at any point in time that you do have questions about what you're seeing on there, about a particular event or training opportunity, just reach out to me because this is kind of my baby in a way. Like this is what I work very closely with. So if you guys do have questions about anything, I am happy to help answer those for you. We scroll just a little bit past there, you will see that we also highlight some of the recurring meetings that you'll notice on the office training calendar. One of which is an ALC meeting, which I know is on several of your Ignite graduation checklists. I feel like this is the one that most people don't know what it is. So we tend to see that people don't always attend that one, and that's okay. The big thing though is our ALC is our Agent Leadership Council. We have different top producing agents who've taken additional time to represent different committees at Valentine. And we actually do try to keep in touch with our agent base. We don't want to be making any decisions without consulting you guys first. So the ALC actually will get together collectively once a month to make decisions on behalf of Valentine. They'll give us updates about what's going on. And if there are anything that we want to take a vote on to implement potentially as part of Valentine moving forward, they're the ones that we consult for those conversations. So if you are curious what those conversations look like and would like to be part of it, we highly recommend participating in our ALC meetings. The big thing though is if you do choose to join us for that, we do ask that you allow the ALC to hold the floor and that you're purely there to observe and listen. We also have team meetings, which are offered on the second and fourth Tuesday every month. Those are kind of some fun energy, a full room. It's a lot of excitement. And we do actually, part of that, we welcome our new agents. We celebrate the achievements of our agents. We go over some different market updates. There's so much content that we discuss. We'll highlight those trainings and events. And then also one of these special opportunities is outside in the hub. We do actually invite several of our vendors to partake in our vendor fair, if you will. So if you guys are looking, again, just to communicate and get to know and create relationships with our vendors, that's a very easy way to do it, just by stopping in for team meetings, because we always have vendors posted out there so that you can kind of talk and get to know them a little bit. A lot of times they also bring goodies, no promises, but that way you guys can also get a yummy snack while you're here too. And then the last thing here is our Tech Tuesdays, which, as I mentioned, are every Tuesday afternoon. Jules and Leah do a fantastic job of kind of highlighting everything that is offered through your KW technology, again, from a basic level to a very, very high efficiency levels where you can actually leverage your technology so it's less brain power for you and very effective. So talk to Jules and Leah, participate in their Tech Tuesdays. They are done workshop style. So you guys will have the opportunity to sit here with your laptop, go along with them. And as you have questions, they'll be able to pause and come and assist you through your particular desktop or laptop. So those are just some of the recurring meetings that we have. And again, you'll see all of that on the training calendar. But as you scroll just a little bit further, you will come across our wonderful broker in charge, Miss Sabra Romeo, and our wonderful big associate, Miss Tasha Viney. So the fantastic news about both of these lovely ladies is that they're very, very friendly, they're patient, and they are kind. So always feel like you can ask them questions if you have to. Don't feel like, that you need to be intimidated in any way, because they're truly some of the sweetest people ever. The unfortunate thing to an extent is that Miss Sabra is not commonly in our office. She actually does stay at home with her 100-year-old mother and helps to take care of her. So she's not always in this office. However, Miss Tasha Viney is. So Tasha is very capable as well, very knowledgeable, and she actually is in the office 3 days a week. And you'll see her office hours are posted here. So if at any point in time you guys would like to swing through just to ask a quick question, Tasha's happy to help you guys. And her office is actually just outside this door. She's just to the right in those two back offices. And again, I know I'm talking more to them in here than you guys, but once you are in the office, you'll be able to see that as well. It's just outside of the hub. So again, please feel free to connect with Miss Tasha. She's a great person to get to know. And as you guys have questions, you are welcome to reach out to them. Their emails are posted there as well. The big thing that I always say is try to go to Tasha first. And obviously you're welcome to, especially if it's a legal issue, please go directly to Sabra. Do not waste any time. Go straight to Sabra for legal issues if at any point those arise for you. But Tasha is very knowledgeable and able to assist you with a lot of things. So please do keep her in mind as well. I know a common question I end up receiving is in regards to the privilege license application. So if you guys do have questions about that, you're welcome to talk to Tasha. She'll happily guide you through how to fill that out. And as you scroll a little bit further here, you'll see if you're renewing your North or South Carolina license in about 6 months because of the time of year, you guys can actually use several of these charts that'll open up into a separate tab here. It'll help walk you through making sure you understand the criteria and the requirements to maintain your license. And if at any point in time you guys are questioning if you are up to date on things, it'll walk you through how to make sure that you can check on your end to make sure you're squared away and that you don't have to worry about your license going inactive at any point in time. So utilize these charts, guys. They're phenomenal resources. I know we're not going to need them for a little bit of time, but keep it in mind for when the spring does roll around. And as we scroll a little bit further, we have arrived at our Agent Leadership Council. So this actually highlights all of the agents who are currently serving on ALC. It tells you their names, their contact information, as well as the committees that they're currently serving. So if at any point in time you guys have questions about what they're doing, or maybe want to provide some feedback or suggestions, maybe something you want to see brought into the office as a training, you're welcome to get in touch with each of these individuals. They would be more than happy to meet and talk with you. And then the other great thing is you'll see on the office training calendar that they also all meet as their individual committees once a month, and you're welcome to join them for those meetings as well. You guys can participate. I know the growth committee and the career development committee oftentimes will bring in some special guest speakers, so it's almost like a miniature training built into their meetings, which is pretty awesome. And then we also have the social committee, and they're almost like always the favorite because they're talking about the events and the parties and having all the fun. So feel free to get in touch with these guys, these agents, guys. It's going to be a phenomenal resource for you to just get to be a little bit more involved in Valentine if you have interest to be. And again, just provide some suggestions because we'd happily be implementing anything that you bring our way. And as you scroll a little bit further, we do arrive at our first pillar of mentorship. So as part of your onboarding process, we do tend to assign you guys to what we consider our 3 pillars of mentorship. The big thing is that unlike maybe somewhere else, a boutique firm, you don't have one specific mentor that's going to walk you through absolutely everything. We do try to divvy that up really actually in a great way because it gives you 3 additional people to talk to. So if at any point you have questions, that's three times more likely that you get an answer. So your productivity coach is going to be the first pillar of mentorship. That's something that we will auto enroll you guys into as a brand new agent, and mainly because they're just here to help you guys get your business off the ground. So they're going to be phenomenal agents. Again, top 20% who have a lot of experience in not only Charlotte, but this particular market, and they're seeing success for themselves. So they're happy to share some of that wisdom with you guys. They will meet weekly with all of their coaching group. They'll also offer one-on-one consultations with you so they can really get to know you and goal set with you. Once they understand you at an intimate level as well as your goals, they're able to help you more. So they'll be able to sit there with you. They'll go through lead generation strategies. They'll go over scripts with you. They'll be able to highlight a lot of that great information just to help you get the ball rolling and make sure your business is set up for success. A little bit further down, again, very similar. This is going to be our second pillar of mentorship. Our T group partners also will meet weekly. So that's an opportunity for you guys, again, to collaborate with other agents and get a lot of insight on a weekly basis. And our T group partners are actually going to focus specifically on the contracts and forms for the specific state you are licensed in. So if you're North Carolina licensed, you have received a North Carolina T group partner. If you're South Carolina licensed, then you'll have a South Carolina T group partner. If you go on to become both, we'll make sure that you're assigned to another T group partner as well to reflect the new license, so you can be getting an adequate education for both sides. And so when you scroll through, again, these just highlight all of our wonderful T group partners. And so, like I said, every week they'll be meeting with you guys and chunking down the content of our contracts and forms. They want to make sure, obviously, that as an agent, you guys understand them to the fullest so that you're also able to share that information with your clients as well. We want to make sure that their importance and significance is disclosed to your clients. And we want to make sure, obviously, that you feel comfortable and confident going through those transactions. So they'll be here to help you guys with that. And what I actually usually tell you guys is your T group partner is kind of like the first person you can go to with transaction-based questions. So if it's a specific question for your specific transaction, you're welcome to reach out to your T group partner first rather than going to Tasha or Sabra. And then if they say, hey, you know what, they'll be honest with you. If they don't know the answer and they think that is a better question for our BIC, they'll encourage you then to reach out to Tasha or Sabra. But more often than not, guys, your T group partner will be able to help you guys with a lot of those transaction questions. And a little bit further down, you get your first step partner. So unlike the other two, our third and final pillar of mentorship actually does not meet at all unless you guys coordinate something yourselves. But these wonderful ladies will be reaching out to you repeatedly over especially those first 90 days that you guys are here, really just to make sure that you're acclimating well to the office. They want to make sure that everything's running smoothly for you, and they're here to help answer any questions that you've got. I usually try to say that they're kind of like our Valentine experts. So if you're saying, hey, Liz had told me there's a parking pass link, but I can't find it, could you help me with that? I'm sure they would be happy to get you that information. So if at any point you guys have a question more about Valentine than specifically the contracts and forms, that's more their area of expertise. While they do obviously know just about everything there is, that's more their wheelhouse for their particular role. And then next to each of their names here, you will see that there's a 30, 60, 90 ramp up posted. And what that is, it's actually a Google sheet that they'll be sharing with you. And that Google sheet highlights in the first 90 days, what are some different activities that you guys can be doing to help propel your business forward. I think one of the biggest hurdles a lot of times jumping into independent contracting and becoming a business owner is that there's not a set amount of things that I should be doing and a set kind of directory of what I need to do next. So this is going to be a great reference guide, and anytime you're feeling lost or confused and you want to make sure that what you're doing is actually going to be beneficial and help to reap some business in the end. So if you guys are feeling confused or lost, reference that as often as you'd like. There's a lot of great suggestions week by week in terms of what you can work on. What I will say is that nobody is going to grade that. So if you do not need it at all because you feel great and you're getting a lot of guidance from Ignite, from your pillars of mentorship, you will not need to necessarily reference it, but it is there to help support you guys if you ever feel a little confused. And a little bit further down here, we do have access to helpful resources and some great frequently used websites. However, there is an easy way to access those at the top, so we won't waste too much time there. The next tab that I'll cover with you guys is this FAQ tab. And really, this is just to kind of share with you guys what each of the staff members on leadership do. So if you guys are looking for a specific question, maybe you have about a commission request, this is a great way for you guys to then hover over the tile. Oops, brought down a menu here. If you hover over the tile, it'll highlight what leadership member is responsible for that, as well as their contact information. So again, it just kind of gives you an idea of what each of us do on staff here so that you guys can be easily getting the answers to your questions. Obviously, this kind of just gives you a general idea. So if at any point in time you're realizing, hey, my question is definitely not covered there, you guys are welcome to come to me with that question. If I do not know the answer personally, I will connect you with who does have that answer. So keep this in mind if you are curious of who to reach out to about a particular question that you've got. The next thing is actually the About tab. I typically skip right over that one and we go to the next exciting tab, which is on-demand training. So this is going to be our first password protected tab here. So for those of you online, I'm going to read out what that is. If you guys would like to take note of it anywhere, our password is very similar to the Wi-Fi for those of you who do know that password. It's going to be a capital B as in boy, lowercase a, m, c, 350. And once you guys are in, it stands for Ballantyne Area Market Center 350, if that helps you to remember. And so once you guys are in the on-demand training tab, you'll notice that we've got two fantastic buttons right here at the top. The first one is this on-demand option. If you click on this on-demand button, this will actually take you to our KWB YouTube channel. What? So our KWB YouTube channel actually will hold a lot of our recordings from the recurring meetings that we were discussing earlier. So this is not going to be every single training. So if you guys realize that you miss an agent spotlight, that recording will not exist on this platform. But if you were looking for the compliance orientation, a team meeting that you may have missed or anything like that, that's where you can find a lot of this information. So you guys can go back through and see anything you missed. And the real reason we do that is because obviously we don't want you to miss out on the information you're hoping to get. But we also understand that life happens and sometimes there are scheduling conflicts. So please do utilize this as much as you'd like to help you guys out. What I will say first, I did get a chat. Can you repeat that password? Of course I can you? I will type it for you to make it a little easier. There you go. So the big thing that I like to point out when it comes to this YouTube channel, in addition to the fact that obviously not everything will exist here, is that while technology is amazing and I love it, technology also can be very frustrating sometimes. Like, for example, YouTube sometimes will decide that it does not like the recording that I'm trying to publish. It just says, no way, you're violating whatever policy, which is never actually true, but obviously I can't really fight technology at that point. So in the event that that happens, sometimes that will mean that my recordings cannot actually be published, although I may still have access to them. So if at any point in time you're realizing that there was a Facebook ad Tech Tuesday that you missed and it's not actually on here, where can I get that information? In that event, guys, just reach out to me via email. I'm happy to send that your way because a lot of times I still have access to that recording. I just, for whatever reason, could not get it to publish to YouTube. So keep me in mind. I also am the one who is updating the YouTube channel. And I would say that I am usually updating this once a week. So if there's anything you missed from the previous week, it should be posted for you. And I'll close out of that here. And then similar in concept, guys, on the right-hand side here, if you were to click this on-demand button, this will actually take you to Scott Leroy Marketing's YouTube channel. And this one is an exciting one, I know. Sorry. I always forget about that. When you guys do arrive at Scott Leroy Marketing YouTube channel and you pause that very obnoxiously loud video, as you scroll through, you guys will see that their library actually covers a great span of content. Again, all focused on your KW technology, the command, the DocuSign, anything like that. And it really is a great opportunity for you guys to get that information at a time that works best for you. Whether that's, again, in the moment, I need to learn how to do this because I'm going on to do that. this is an opportunity to learn right then and there. Or again, if we're a dual career or maybe we're not located in this area, an opportunity for you guys to get access to that information very easily. And then you'll see here that they do have organized playlists based off of what the video pertains to. We've got some tech tips that are shorter than 10 minutes usually, with a couple exceptions, as you'll see. So those are usually quick and easy. But if you guys are also looking for full-length classes, you'll notice that they also will publish those here as well. So great information being shared here, again, straight from the source, if you will. Just so you are also aware, Jules and Leah do have an extensive background with Scott Leroy Marketing. They actually spent several years working for them. So our very own in-house tech coordinators are also very knowledgeable individuals and happy to assist you with technology. So between the two, I always say when it comes to tech troubleshooting, if you guys are experiencing an issue, you're always welcome to reach out to Jules and Leah. However, if you're looking for, like, I need to get into my DocuSign right this second, you can email Scott Leroy Marketing and they'll be happy to assist you. They actually have representatives on their team who monitor the inbox of their general email all day long. So if you guys need immediate assistance, if you email them, you'll hear back from them within about 5 to 10 minutes. So that's a great for like an emergency, hey, I need help, but trying to learn things ahead of time and really get to understand things, or even leveraging and utilizing the concierge marketing services, Jules and Leah are great for that as well. So I will close out of their YouTube channel, guys, but that's something to keep track of. At the very bottom here, you'll see there's some additional information about Ignite, which again, I know many of us are already aware. So I will bypass that today. Up here at the top at our Office Resources tab, this is also going to be another password protected tab. It'll be the same password that we've already covered together. The reason I'm hovering rather than actually clicking into this tab, though, is you'll notice these top two options here. First, we have advertising guidelines. That's going to be a big one, obviously, for making sure everything that we're promoting and sharing for marketing purposes is in compliance. So please reference the advertising guidelines. For those of you who are here at team meeting, Tasha Viney talked about those, just to make sure, again, that everything is covered legally that you need to. We don't want anybody to go to real estate jail. And I'm sure after school, guys, you know that that's a scary place to go. So advertising guidelines is going to be a really great reference guide for you. And just below that, similar, I'm sure you've already heard about the do not call list. Cold calling is amazing. It's a great way to lead gen. However, if you guys do call the wrong person, you can be subject to fines. We don't want that to happen to anyone. So it is important that you know who is requested to be on the do not call list. And if you click on that button right ahead of me here, the do not call list button, it will take you through step by step how you guys can get registered on that site so you can be aware of who not to call. But everything else will be accessible to you once you click into the Office Resources tab. I just like to take time to highlight those two particular. When you click into the Office Resources tab, as I mentioned, it's the same password. It's capital B, lowercase a, M, C, 350. And once you are in the Office Resources tab on the left-hand side here, I believe just about everyone, I want to say, is North Carolina licensed. So I will start there. However, if you're exclusively South Carolina licensed, I know I've got a couple of those on here as well. You will be seeing the equivalent of what I will show on the North Carolina side for the South Carolina side if you just click that button. So your South Carolina forms will be on this side here. So we'll start at Northbow. So if you click the Get Forms button, this will take you to a Google Drive folder that Miss Saber Romeo, our wonderful broker in charge, actually created. She felt that these forms were asked for very frequently, and she wanted to make sure it was accessible and easy for you guys to gain access at any point in time that you needed it. So the big thing, full disclosure, this is not all of your forms. This is not going to be all the state contracts and the forms that you require. This will really cover, I usually refer to them again, KWB specific forms, because these will not necessarily generate automatically in your DocuSign or through Matrix through Canopy MLS. So if you guys are needing that W-9, I need to make sure that I get my referral check. I need them to have my W-9, or maybe I'm just looking for that basic working with real estate agents disclosure, or I need to disclose a partnership about heritage title, anything like that, guys. Sewer and septic, working with real estate agents brochure, anything like that will be living right here in this Google Drive folder. Again, this is going to be our North Carolina side. So South Carolina sides, if we headed back, is just going to be on the right-hand side of this page. But so again, this will not be every single form. I always kind of try to make light of it, guys. If we're going through here and we're seeing something's not here, it's probably going to be in DocuSign or through Matrix, through Canopy MLS. If you're noticing in Canopy MLS and Matrix or through DocuSign that something is not there, it's probably in here. So between those two resources, you guys should be able to find just about everything that you're looking for. But this will be an important one to keep in mind because you will be responsible for some of these forms as well during your transactions. So I will close out of this Google Drive folder. In the middle here, if you clicked on the Get Checklist option, this will actually take you to another Google Drive folder, and Ms. Sabra again designed this herself down to the individual checklist she has designed. When you guys open this up, this will highlight everything that you're responsible for a given transaction, given the side of the transaction you are representing or the actual state. So if you're a South Carolina and you're looking contract to close, this is my buyer responsibilities. What do I need to make sure is done? This will cover what you are responsible for, when it needs to be handled, and then you guys can go through and individually check off that you've done those things. This is just a great way to make sure you're covering all of your bases for any given transaction. Obviously, again, before it's muscle memory, those first few are going to be a little bit harder to make sure you've got all the ducks in a row. So this is a great reference guide for you guys so that you, again, can make sure you've covered everything you need to and can feel very confident through that first transaction. I always say you guys are welcome to print these off. You're welcome to keep them with you at all times, just so you're making sure you're constantly on top of everything you're responsible for. But it's, again, just a great way for you guys to feel comfortable and confident going into those first few transactions, because I feel like once you guys get the hang of it, it's all going to be downhill from there. You guys have got it covered. So while you guys are still trying to learn, this is a great opportunity to have that kind of backup support if you need it. I'll close out here. So again, we've got our North Carolina forms, our wonderful checklist, and then our South Carolina forms right there. You go a little bit lower on this page, we now arrive at the CE shop. So again, something special for KW Valentine is we actually partner with different real estate education sources, both the CE shop and Superior School of Real Estate. So through our partnerships, we have access to some great content. We also have access to discount codes. So if you guys are looking for getting your South Carolina license or your North Carolina license, and you guys are looking for that pre-licensing, maybe it's just post-licensing or CE that you're trying to maintain the license you currently have, we have discounts that apply to those. So once you arrive at, if you clicked on that button and take yourself to our dual branded website, you'll be able to see here that we've got tons of great information. The first thing is as you kind of scroll through here, my goodness, they have changed this since the last time I went through here. That's embarrassing. If you go through the real estate side, though, I'm sure that this will hopefully look more familiar. There we go. Okay, I was like, oh, okay, I don't know this page at all. So once you arrive here, you'll see that they do have a current code running for real estate. And again, this applies to pre, post, and CE. You guys will be able to see and utilize that code. I believe lower down, they used to, at the very least, I guess they got rid of it. They used to break down their individual packages and then show you what that discount code would do to the price point, just to make it an easier visual. The big thing to note is that with CE Shop, their discounts actually fluctuate. So right now it's 20%. I know for a fact, just because I also get the emails, that when it comes to time for Black Friday and Thanksgiving, they will be offering some crazy good deals. You guys can get 45 to 50% off of any education that you need. So keep that in mind as you guys are looking to continue your education for real estate. And even if maybe you're not looking for North or South, maybe you're from Vermont or Virginia naturally, if you guys would like to go ahead you guys can see that they offer opportunities for all different states. So again, utilize these codes, guys. Feel free to share them with others as well. It's a great way to help out your friend who's considering real estate for the first time. So please keep that in mind. The next thing I will show you guys, or I guess one other thing, it really messes me up when they don't have it the way it used to be, because like my visual memory is not working for me. One other thing that is unique to the CE Shop, again, for those of us who are considering to get the South Carolina or the North Carolina license, CE Shop offers self-paced education. And I know from firsthand experience and from hearing from you guys, sometimes self-paced is a huge hit and it's a huge success. I loved it. I was great at it. Sometimes it's the complete opposite of, yep, nope, I needed the live instruction. I needed somebody to hold me accountable, and that's all well and fine. But if you've ever contemplated whether or not self-paced would be a good fit for you in your learning style, they do offer a free trial of self-paced learning for 1 week through the CE Shop. So you guys can check it out, try before you buy. And if you loved it and you're ready to commit to it, you can easily purchase the remainder of that education package package. Or if you say, you know what, nope, that was not for me. I'd rather go back to Superior, do that live in-person training. That's an opportunity to walk away as well without having to have put down a credit card or anything. So keep that in mind if you guys are trying to get another license at any point in time. It's a great way to check that out without having to commit to it fully. Now at the bottom here, because it used to be at the top, but it's now at the bottom, under the Agent Essentials here, if you go to Hot Topics, this will actually take you to a, whoa, well, I guess it's not. Let me see if I refresh. There we go. I was like, well, that's new as well. So when you arrive at the Hot Topics page, this is going to be a library of ebooks, podcasts, videos, and blogs, all covering real estate as a topic. So not only is this something that you can get some informative pieces from for your own personal sake and your education and knowledge, they also have some more whimsical and lighthearted pieces that you guys are welcome to entertain yourselves with. But the big thing that I like to point out when it comes to this is not only is this something you can benefit from, this is something that's so easy for you guys to just copy and paste a link and share it to your social media. And the reason I mention that is from what I understand, again, I am not an agent, but from what I understand, it is very important for those of us who do plan to use social media as a form of marketing. It's very important that you guys are constantly keeping that page active. So every single day, if you can be posting, do post something. And I know sometimes, especially when we're first starting out, I don't necessarily know what I want to share. This is a really, really easy kind of cheat sheet for you guys. You can easily just copy and paste a link, throw it onto your social media. It keeps the page active, but most importantly, it's also diversifying what you're posting. And the reason for that is diversification in your content can also help to gain different traffic to your page. So it just gets more eyes on what you're doing and then hopefully more business in the future. So keep this in mind, guys. There's a great opportunity with just sharing stuff from the Hot Topics. And I'm going to take us right back to KWB Resources. We also have access here to our KW Valentine floor plan. I've never used it personally, but I don't blame anyone who wants to. Our floor is a little confusing in shape. I know it's not always easy to find the bathroom. So if you guys want the floor plan, please use it. It is a great tool for you if you think that that would help you at all. Obviously, it is there if you need it, but you obviously don't have to use it either. And if you scroll to the very bottom, again, guys, we are still under the Office Resources tab here. As you get to the bottom of this page, we highlight some numbers to know. That handout is also kind of shared with you guys as part of me assigning you to a T group partner. I do highlight a lot of these numbers. However, if you're looking for a specific one, because, hey, Liz, I finally actually did go to get my South Carolina license, filling out that application, and now I need the firm license number, but I'm not sure what that is. You guys can see it's right here in the upper right of this little blurb here. So a lot of that information, specific numbers that you may only be asked for once or twice or on a contractor form. This is where you guys can find that hub of information. You know, our tax ID is necessary at different points in time. So keep this in mind when you guys are looking for those specific numbers that you're sure you've heard of, but can't remember what it is. And then if at any point in time that you guys cannot remember where to locate this information or aren't sure, you're welcome to always reach out to me. I may not be the one who has that information handy all the time, but again, I will always connect you with who has it. I'm going to take us back up to the top here. So now we are going on just for show. If you did click the office calendar button, as you can see, it does all the work for you and it takes you right where you want to go. The next tab, though, that I will share with you guys, I'm just going to highlight a couple things for the next few here. This Tech Resources tab. If you guys are looking again, maybe chunking things down really works well for you. I don't like designating a whole evening of frustration to my technology. I get it. So Marty Miller for Teams, just a few down here. If you guys like the chunking things down, doing it in digestible amounts, Marty Miller for Teams is a 66-day YouTube challenge where it actually walks you through building up your KW marketing profile. So this way people obviously can get to know you and they can get to see a very full spread. Everything looks developed and great. So it really helps to make you guys look established. So the Marty Miller for Teams, again, just breaks that down into pieces. So it's a little less overwhelming. Again, maybe we're not tech savvy and that's absolutely fine. So maybe this is the avenue we want to go through. It's just a little bit easier. No video, I believe, is any longer than 10 minutes. So it's very easy for you guys to just designate a little bit of time each day to build something up in the end. I know that several of our teams here actually love this tool and will share it with their hires. So if at any point in time that speaks to you guys, please utilize it. You'll also see here we have quick and easy access to that answers at kw.com. If you guys need to access that to get that information through reading, I know everyone's got a slightly different learning style. So if reading through your solutions is the easiest way for you, that is a great tool and one I'd highly recommend. We also have Pivot Shift Ahead. So many of us don't know, but there is a gentleman named James Shaw. He's very big in the KW world, based out of Florida. And I believe now he's actually representing a very significant chair with the education of KW. So James Shaw's actually been through shifting markets before. He was in the business in 08 and 09. So he's seen shifting markets at some of their worst. And he actually has been successful through all of that. So he actually has built up a Pivot Shift Ahead call. It is 30 minutes every single morning. I think just Monday through Friday. I don't think you have to do it on the weekends. But it is Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8:30. It's a great way to start your mornings, immediately get in the right mindset of how you're going to tackle your day and be effective in what you're doing. So he's giving you guys strategies of what you can be doing in an uncertain market. He also will sit there and spotlight different agents around the nation who are also there to suggest, hey, I just actually had so much luck with my golden letter. It was a huge hit. I got 3 leads from it. If at any point in time he's highlighting an agent, that's an opportunity for you guys to literally what we always call rip off and duplicate. That's not a bad thing in the real estate world. If someone else is having success with something, you guys may want to try that in your own business. And that's a great way to get that inspiration. And sometimes people will even share their exact scripts with you. So it's a great way to get a little bit better and have additional tools in your tool belt. So use the Pivot Shift Ahead call, guys. He shares so much, and some of our top producing agents absolutely love that call. So that's one to keep in mind. We also have access, you'll see here, to Scott Leroy Marketing's website and to KW Commands. You'll also see on the helpful links here that we've got a couple things I will share. The first one is going to be this ALC meeting minutes. So if you guys miss one of those big ALC meetings where they made those decisions for the market center, and you really want to know what you missed, what you can be expecting, you guys can see that we have documented minutes from each of those meetings that are uploaded to a Google Drive folder. So it makes it very easy for you guys to stay on top of what's going on. And I just realized I got to know. Oh, yes. Thank you, Kenya. I'm so glad that you know about that call. It's a great one. Yes. Okay, that's exciting. No, I usually am talking to like truly brand new agents, so not everyone is familiar, which I'm happy to share how great it is, but having somebody else speak to it is always amazing. So thank you. So ALC meeting minutes, that's where you can find a lot of that information. Just below is the prayer request form, which for me is more of just a talking point than anything. And that's really just to emphasize how very sincerely and seriously we consider you to be our family once you've joined our office. So please just keep us in mind anytime you're going through something in life, and whether you're struggling or you need assistance with anything, just keep us in mind, guys, because we do want to be supportive in any and every way that we can be. The first and foremost, obviously, if you guys do believe in the power of prayer, we are happy to pray on your behalf as a leadership team very intimately. But if you're really big into prayer power and you tell us, hey, can you tell the market center so I can just get additional prayer power, we're happy to do that too. So keep us in mind more than anything, whether or not you are a believer, that is absolutely fine. We just want to know what's happening so we can be here for you guys in any way we can. So keep us in mind. We want to be here for you, whatever that looks like. So we're your family. And then just below that, we also have KW Perks. So more recently, I think it was this past summer, actually, we, as Keller Williams as a whole, have partnered with Capstone Financial. So as you guys are entering into into independent contracting, oh, it's okay. You're absolutely fine. Absolutely fine, Bernice. Have a great one. As you guys go into independent contracting, though, you don't necessarily have insurance through your employment anymore. And that's absolutely fine. With our partnership through Capstone Financial, agents are saving, though, when they're searching the marketplace. So it's a great opportunity for you guys to get plugged into some great insurance plans. Even if you have insurance, it can't hurt to look because there may be something better out there. The last thing here is our discount codes for real estate education. If you click on the discount codes for real estate education, it will take you to a specific page on our website. Very easy to access those CE shop codes. Unlike the CE shop where it's fluctuating, our Superior Real Estate School, we have a long-standing 30% off with them, whether that's pre-licensing, post, or CE. And those are actually individual links for each style of education. So you'll just want to make sure you're clicking on the right button based off of what you're looking for. But that, again, is free for you guys to share. You're welcome to encourage others to join real estate. If you know someone who's been on the fence because of the cost, this is a great way for you guys to help them out. It's also a great tool for you guys if you're ever considering building your downline and want passive income through profit share. So utilize these tools, guys. They're here for you. And then as you scroll a little bit further, again, scheduling a conference room, very, very simple and easy. The big thing also here is our strategic vendor partners. So if you said, oh, shoot, Liz, I totally forgot to join that Facebook page you told me about, that's okay, guys. If you click on strategic vendor partners, it will share an entire Google sheet here. And this is a live document. So I actually just added a vendor today and we'll be able to see that reflected here. But this highlights all of our wonderful vendor partners. So you guys will be able to see everyone that we've got as part of our vetted program here. You'll know the company they work for, our individual contacts, and their contact information. So please use this. If you even scroll over, you can see the specific services that they offer as well as their websites. So again, it's just an easy way for you guys to impress your clients, if nothing else, just by saying, hey, I know a guy. I've got actually 3 that you could choose from, and it's a great way to get those quotes for them to choose from as well. And you'll see here our vendor program is not limited to a couple specific things. We've got closing services, we've got transaction coordinators, we've got all this great stuff with flooring. We can help your clients, we can help you. So please do use this spreadsheet, guys. There's so many great individuals on here that would love to get to know you and love to assist you and your business or your clients. You'll also notice here that we do have a couple that we're looking a little bit more sparse on. So for example, landscape services, we've only got one gentleman currently in our vendor program that does landscape. If you said, hey, I actually know someone that's been doing landscape for me for years, I love them. They're amazing, great product, great service, great individual. Let us know. We want to be able to build up our program to be the fullest and best that it can be. So that's a mutually beneficial thing. If you guys said, hey, I'm going to help you out by connecting you with 500 agents that you can contact, and you're going to help me out by just helping to get you on the vendor program, that's a great way for you guys to help them out and help get the word around their business. So help out your vendor partners, guys. If you know someone you love and you notice that we've only got a few here listed under that particular category, let us know. It's as simple as just actually connecting them via email with PJ Kennedy, who is an agent in our office currently assisting with the vendor program. And I know many of you guys may not know who that is yet. If you do, you might not have his contact information. His contact information is actually on his business card at the front desk. So it's very easy to connect them via email. But because also I've got several of you online, and I know some of you guys are not based in this area, that's more than fine. I'm just going to let you know that his email is pj@soldbykennedy.com. So you guys can reach out to him if you ever have a vendor recommendation. So this, again, just a great way if you did not get to be part of that Facebook page in time, but you need to get some quotes for clients. This is an easy way to get a lot done at one point in time. And again, very neatly organized by their particular industry. So it makes it easy. We also, you see here, we have the Think Like a CEO podcast, just another tool if it's of interest to you guys. This is Gary Keller and Jay Papazan. If you guys don't know who those are, I understand maybe if you don't know Jay, but obviously I hope we know Gary Keller. This Think Like a CEO podcast, if you are a podcast listener, again, it's just an opportunity for you guys to get your head in the game, if you will, and really establish that entrepreneurial mindset. It's important that you guys are understanding how to really help build your business up so it can flourish and make sure it's set up the right way so that you guys have a little bit less kind of backtracking to resolve later. I know they actually have a one whole season just dedicated to setting up your finances. So many great things are shared on that podcast. If that speaks to you, please be part of it. The last thing I'll share under this little drop-down menu is the Outfront magazine. I won't click on it today, but very similar to what we were talking about with the hot topics and the CE shop. If you guys are looking to use social media as a big tool for your business, clicking on Outfront magazine, they share monthly something you can post every single day. It shares an idea of something to do every single day on social. So again, maybe it's a rainy Thursday. I really don't know what I want to share today. I don't have anything coming up under contract, no new listings. What do I say? You guys can literally, again, rip off and duplicate, take from Outfront magazine. It's here to help you guys out. If you were to click on this next button here, the Facebook icon, it'll take you to that main Facebook page of just the leadership team like myself and our agent body. And then the last thing here is I need tech help. If you guys would like to meet with Jules and Leah because they'd love to meet you guys can schedule a free 30-minute appointment just to get to know them. Even if you're thinking, hey, I'm a brand new agent, what could I possibly talk about with them? I understand that question. First and foremost, they want to get to know you. They want to establish a relationship with you. They want to know how they can help you guys. So whether that's, hey, here's 3 things you guys can start with that we usually encourage as a basic understanding of your technology, they'll go through that with you guys. They'll even assist you with that process. Or if it's you are finally to a point where you're ready to leverage things like, hey, I actually hate managing my social media, but I really think it's been significantly powerful in my business. If you guys ask Jules and Leah, they've got marketing plans where they can actually, you guys can pay them like $50. That don't quote me on that. But you guys could pay them $50 and they'll, for the whole year, they'll do your social media for you. So they do a lot of great things. They do newsletters. So if you guys are ready to leverage any of that marketing, they're happy to assist you with it. So I will close out of there. So technically, yes, we are at our 2 o'clock deadline, and I understand if anybody has to go, that's okay. Yeah, of course you can. Jules and Leah, our tech coordinators. Yep. Yes. Yes. Jules and Leah will gladly do that for you. You're welcome to meet with them. And then so I'm just going to show one more quick thing for any of those who can stay online with me. So really quickly, mykw.kw.com. It is a separate site, but this will only take a minute, I promise. Have a great one anytime, Colin. So what I did notice is that sometimes this was not quite being caught in the initial trainings for brand new agents. So what I will share with you guys is if you go to mykw.kw.com, what I am going to teach you guys is how to send an office email blast. So when you do this will actually go to all 500 agents because yes, Facebook is a great tool, guys, and it is a very powerful one when you're trying to connect with everyone. But Facebook also, through its algorithms, if not enough people are interacting with your post, it may drop down in the feed. And when that happens, sometimes it's just harder to get more eyes on it. So if you really want to make sure that whatever you're sharing, maybe your client needs to get rid of furniture like today, you guys can easily share that blast with everyone. So you'll log into this website using your login credentials that we created as part of our onboarding meeting, or anything that you're currently using right now to get into KW Command. This will be the same credentials. So once you guys are inside of this website, you will want to go to the KW intranet. That is where you'll be able to do those email blasts. So you can access it either through this button here, which does look grayed out, but it still functions. I usually find myself using this bottom version under quick links here. So where it says MC350 intranet, that is where you will click. When you get into the intranet, you'll actually see here that there is a quick library posted of all the current posts that are in there. You'll see a lot are going to be mine, sorry. But you'll also see several agent announcements, like when call time becomes available because someone can no longer fulfill that shift. You guys will be able to then jump in and fill in for them. So when you guys go into create your own post, all you have to do is hit the add a post option. Sorry. PJ just came and took my picture. So when you guys hit the add a post option, you'll be able to then designate a channel. So the Market Center post will be grayed out for you guys because you are just agents, so you don't have that capability because that's strictly for leadership. But you will be able to use this associate post. So when you click on that, it'll even ask you, hey, do you want to designate a specific channel? This does not change who can see it by any stretch unless they're going through that first library and specifically filtering for that one channel. So you guys can designate anything. I think agent announcement is the most general. So you guys are welcome to use that. And when you click into it here, you'll see it'll allow you to create a post title, and that's 100 character max. So when you create that post title, guys, that's going to come through as the subject line of your email. You can then also add a URL to a specific link if you're trying to share the listing information from your website or anything like that. Then you guys can also do 190 characters of a post blurb, and that's going to come through as the body of your email. So sometimes that 190 characters is not quite enough for what we're trying to share, and that's absolutely understandable. I run into that problem all the time. So if you hit the add full post option or add full message right here, this will allow you to type freely as much content as you need to include. So typically speaking, if I have additional information I share in this box, I usually make the last line of my post blurb here, just like see full post. That way people know that there's more information to be shared if they click on the specific button, because when that email comes through, there'll be an easy button right there that says view full post. They can click right on it and it'll open to the rest of your content. You guys can also upload files here. I believe it only accepts JPEGs and PDFs. So if you guys are trying to share multiple images, the best way may just be to put them all into one combined PDF, because I believe it does limit you to one file upload. But if you've condensed everything into one, it's very simple to do. So again, you've got the subject line of your email, you've got your URL, you've added a supplemental, if you would like to, file as well, post blurb, which is the body of your email, and additional information if necessary. So once you guys are happy with everything that you've kind of created, all you have to do is hit this publish post button at the bottom in red. And what'll happen is it will, over the next several minutes, it will come through to everyone's email within the Market Center, including my own as leadership. Typically speaking, I don't believe that this email comes through to your own email because you were the creator of the email. So you guys may think that maybe it didn't work right away. So for your first ever agent post, if you guys do have a question of like, hey, did that go through correctly? Feel free to shoot me an email. Ask me if I received it because I'll be able to easily tell you that, yes, I did see that email come through, and you'll be all set after that. So that does cover absolutely everything. So again, that's just through mykw.kw.com. And then you'll specifically hit the button that says KW Intranet as your post, and you are ready to go. Once you've created the post, it will actually exist in that little library as well. Even after time has gone on, people can still search for it in the archives of that library. So it's very easy to get everyone the information you'd like to share. So that, again, I know I talk so fast, and I am so sorry, guys. I apologize. The great news is that you guys can watch a recording of this later and slow me down if you need to. The big thing I always encourage you guys to do is go back through everything we covered today at your leisure over the next several days. Just kind of play around on the websites that I shared with you. Make sure you have an understanding of how they function and where the things we talked about live. But obviously, it was a lot of information that I've shared with you today. So if at any point in time you do have questions that come up, just let me know. I'm happy to re-walk you through it or kind of share exactly where you can find a lot of that information. But before we dismiss today, does anyone online have any questions that I can help to answer? I'll have you either chat it, which I can open the chat real quick, or you guys can unmute yourself and I'll be able to hear you in the overhead speakers. I feel like that's a good sign. I'll give it like another 30 seconds just to make sure. All right, guys. So I think that means that we are all set, and I don't believe that we've got any questions today. Probably because we're still trying to digest what just happened in the last hour, and that's okay. So as you guys go through everything in your leisure, you're welcome, Kenya. Just let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm certainly happy to answer those for you. So just keep me posted. We want to make sure you guys have a very smooth transition and acclimation to the KW Ballantyne office. We are so happy that you guys are here, and I especially appreciate your time today. So thank you so much. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. And if I don't see you guys again, please have a happy Thanksgiving as well. I'm gonna let you go. Thank you. I'll let you guys go now. Have a great one.